9 tubes, 6 effects loops, 4 channels, onboard reverb, and onboard noise gate. We're talking about the Carvin Quad X today. This is basically overkill in a preamp. There's so many knobs on here, kind of in the tried and true boogie tradition. And oh my gosh, there's so much stuff going on in the back, like multiple loops. Like I said earlier, there's MIDI implementation, there's balanced outs, which is kind of interesting and cool. There's an onboard noise gate, and this thing has a cloaking device, which is a pretty good name for it because it will make your guitar tone disappear. We'll have a listen to that and some more features in a second, but I will just say before, or maybe after you have a listen to this video, keep listening to the video. I want you here. I want to get that view time up, and make sure you hit subscribe and like and all that kind of stuff that, you know, the kind of words we always say at the start of YouTube videos that probably make some people rage quit. If you want to do that stuff, do it. If not, just keep watching. But go and download the manual online because it's just really funny. It's so early 90s guitar processor manual with some of the kind of definitions and hype and marketing in there. I mean, if you were reading that manual back in 1993 or 94, it's probably because you had bought the unit. So I don't know why they try to convince you that it's awesome so many more times. But that's my job, to convince you that this thing is awesome. Let's get straight into some tones. Let's get started on channel 1. I'm playing my YJM Strat, which is a really mellow guitar. To make up for that, I've got the Master Boost on, but the Master Bright off. The graphic EQ is not on. Let's hear it. Let's kick in the reverb. The reverb actually sounds really sweet, and I like to crank it all the way up. Really, really nice. Let's go over to channel 2. This is an alternative clean channel. It shares a 2-band EQ with channel 3, but there is this cloaking control, which is a low-pass filter. So I'll start with the cloaking control all the way off. Let's try this with a little less reverb on this channel. The cool thing is all of these assignments for like the reverb and the effects loops, I think there's like 6 different effects loops, and stuff like the graphic EQ gets assigned per channel. So if you're scrolling through the channels, your last settings get remembered. There's also MIDI recall on all of this, which is very cool. I'm going to kick in the master effects loop where I've got a Strymon dig delay. Each channel also has its own insert loop, and there's like a master external reverb, which you can just use as another effects loop. All right, let's go to channel 3. This is the one that shares the EQ and the cloaking device with channel 2. I'll never get over saying cloaking control or cloaking device, whatever it is. You do have your own volume and overdrive controls for this. I think that's going to be really fun with some reverb. I'm going to crank the reverb up. This should be a pretty cool kind of like garagey scuzz thing. That's really, really fun. There's also a built-in noise gate, which I can kind of turn up and engage. Hopefully it'll kill a bit of that fuzz. So 2-band EQ shared between the channels. Depends what you want to use it for. Do you want like 2 crunch channels, so channel 4 and channel 3, or do you want 2 clean channels? So even though it really is like a 4-channel amp, there is that compromise in there. Let's move over to channel 4, the sustain channel. This is how I've got it set up at the moment. This one's cool because there's actually a mid-range control here, so if I pop that all the way up, and let's kick in that effects loop for some delay. That's kind of cool. One last thing, let's go back to channel 1. I do have a tube screamer in line here, so let's hear that. We'll kind of hear channel 1 like a pedal platform. I'll just bring the reverb down a little bit, so clean and then tube screamer. So you can definitely dial in some more of anything you like, really. Let's hear that with the mids pushed and a little bit more treble and a little bit more bass, a little bit of everything. I definitely like it with less mids there. It's really got that kind of nice, big, bassy Fender clean thing going on. Let's hear this with humbuckers. So this is my Les Paul with some Martin A. Smith PAF style pickups on the neck pickup. Not too shabby. Let's hear channel 2, the clean there. All right, let's hear channel 3. I don't know, I'm not super vibing with channel 3 as a crunch channel, so let's just try channel 4. Notice that I haven't messed with the graphic just yet. The graphic's really, really powerful. I just find, because I'm used to a boogie graphic EQ, having different center frequencies throws me. This kind of sound, though, is, what's the song on Passion and Warfare, that like thing that started as a Carvin demo? Blue Powder? How the hell does that go? Yeah, that's how you play Steve Vai, kids. Listen to me. Let's play around with this graphic, and then I'll move over to a drop C guitar, see if we can get some chugga-chugs out of this. That's better. I had that 1K slider up. I like this a lot more already. I've never played Bark at the Moon like that before either. It's all happening. Some more mids again, and actually the mids are kind of cranked. Let's just kick in that delay and a little bit of reverb and hear this lead tone. I'm pretty stoked with that. Adding delay and reverb to anything makes it sound good. What if I kick the tube screamer in on top of this? This will be fun. And the noise gate's actually really good. Any other tube amp would be hissing at me like crazy. That's pretty obscene. Time to grab the PRS. This is so over the top now. I've got a tube screamer, I've got the delay, I've got the built-in reverb. Let's go to town on this and see if we can, I don't know, I just see a graphic EQ and I want to kind of do a boogie thing, but I know it's not a boogie, so let's turn the reverb off and the delay off. This is where we're at the moment. It's a really weird type of distortion, like it just has this kind of looseness to the low end going on. Let's see if I can tame that with the graphic. definitely that 150K slider that makes everything sound a little bit like mud. Let's add a little bit more presence from this 6K slider. Ooh la la, no, that stays down. It's, all right, what can I do with this? Boost it with a tube screamer. Let's hear that. So currently it sounds a bit more like a rectifier than a Mark series because, I mean, it just goes to show just because you have a graphic EQ doesn't mean you're necessarily a Mesa clone. Did I just say Mesa? Mesa. I pronounce everything wrong. What am I doing pronouncing it right? So that's what's going on there. I don't know. This is a sound, I guess. It's not my favorite high gain distortion ever. I got the bright switch on. What else is going on with this kind of thing? So I don't know, maybe I can just make the world's most disgusting like fuzz doom tone here. So let's go overdrive all the way up. Let's crank the bass, no mid-range necessary. Let's add some onboard reverb because that's always fun. Who knows, maybe this will be a character tone. Well, that was a thing. I don't think you probably expected to hear those kind of sounds coming out of this. Is the Carvin Quad X a secret like death metal or, you know, extreme metal preamp? Probably, but then again, so is like a 10 watt crate amp as well. I think that combination of super extreme EQ and the onboard spring reverb though, you could do some stuff with that. That's got some chainsaw vibes going on about it. Maybe if you ran a HM2 into this, that would be wild. But I kind of don't know what to make of this thing. Channel 1, I love. That's a great, great clean sound. The active EQ on there makes it really, really easy to tweak it for different guitars. The onboard boost and onboard bright switch, again, you can fine tune it for your guitars. And then you got the graphic at the end if you want that. Onboard spring reverb, fantastic. Really, really like that. Really like the effects loop options. The channel 2 clean is kind of cool as well. That cloaking control is interesting. The channel 3 kind of crunch, I don't know, I think it's a little bit nowhere. And channel 4 does a smooth lead thing really, really well, and it obviously does these like ridiculous, doomy, extreme sounds as well. So I think you could definitely put it to good use there. I think the thing that it's lacking though is just like a kind of straight up like Marshall sort of sound, which, you know, is it's funny that people spend so much time, you know, investing in different tube preamps, and then it's like, oh, but it doesn't sound exactly like a JCM 800. So maybe there's something in that. If you want a JCM 800, go and buy a JCM 800. Maybe I can get a crunch sound out of channel 1. Let's just try that. Let's see, go back to channel 1. I want no reverb or effects loop or anything like that. So I'm gonna have to like put the boost on and crank the volume, compensate by turning the master volume down. 1 sec. Yeah, not really. It just has this kind of brittle high end, which maybe is down to that 3K slider. I kind of pull that back. Let's have a listen to what we get. Yeah, I don't know, that's not really doing it for me. So my summary kind of remains, the one thing that it's lacking, I think, is just a really good crunch sound. So having 9 tubes and having this tube saturation circuitry is one thing, but you know, those kind of old amps, even though they weren't designed to do rock and roll crunch, that design does rock and roll crunch really, really well. So there is some logic in there. All right. I've waffled on long enough and played long enough with the Carvin Quad X. What did you all think? Let me know in the comments below. I don't think there's any other preamps out there which have as many tubes as this thing. If there is, please let me know in the comments, and I probably have to go out and try it and see how it compares. Thanks so much for watching. Again, a massive shout out to my buddy Brian for sending me this to try out. I hope you all enjoyed it. Stay safe, be excellent to one another, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.